Hello everyone and welcome back, and this will be your general weekly reading for the sign of Libra for the week of October 13th. And as you can see by my table, I'm getting ready for Halloween. That is one of my most favorite holidays ever. What about yourself? And on that note, I would like to also give a very special thank you to each and every one of you out there who have been subscribing to my channel and helping it grow and getting it noticed, and for sharing with others, as well as all the thumbs up on all the videos that you've watched, and of course the hypes you're hitting as well. Geez, thank you. And for all the lovely comments, thank you so much for doing all of that for me. It truly is appreciated, and I do thank each and every one of you. Okay. And the Four of Cups. That's all right. Stepping back a little bit from everything that's going on around you this week. Meditating, contemplating. You're really going deep this week. You know, a little bit more disconnected than you normally are. Just trying to figure some different angles out in your life, different things, places, people, all that sort of thing. You're just trying to come up with some answers. You've asked yourself a question here, and you're trying to figure out what is your next step. Yeah, Temptress. You're just beginning something. You're a little bit hesitant, but that's natural as well. You're beginning something totally fresh, probably something totally new to you as well by the looks of this. But you're feeling that you're doing it for the right reasons, so it's more balanced for you. You're not feeling like you're overstepping your knowledge in some cases, but you're in total self-control. You know you can handle this. You're understanding what it is that it takes to do what it is you want to do, but you're, doing it moderately. You're not just jumping into something here. You are actually thinking before you begin. You've put your feelers out there. You're just waiting to see what's coming back. And the Six of Cups. Yeah. Finally allowing yourself to just dream ever so slightly. Go back to happier times, not just let all the other chaos in your life right now just stop. You just need a little bit of time for yourself. So you're going back down memory lane for some of you. Maybe something's come up and you need to, just remember the good times, that sort of thing. And the Six of Wands. Definitely getting your accolades. People are starting to recognize who you are, the strengths that you have, what you bring to the table, what you've put up with. There's so many scenarios for this, but this is people realizing your worth. And it's taken some of them quite a time to not just recognize you, but admit it. They've always seen you. They've just never said anything to you about it. But this week, you're getting that from them. And the Sun card. Look at you shine. You're in the right place, right time. Things are happening so much better for you. You're feeling mentally and physically happy. Joyous. There's an outcome that's coming for success for your future. And it is going to just delight you to no end. It really is. You're going to be so ecstatically happy about this. And it is going to allow you so much more, not only area to dream, but to feel more strength. You're gathering your own inner strength, and it is just shining. You can't even run away from this. And the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, feeling totally in balance for a change. Not overthinking, not overanalyzing, not stressing and worrying. Things just seem to be going much more easy this week for yourself. Things are just starting to happen in a very good way for you. There's balance, time, and effect. There's decisions that need to be made, and you're making the right ones. Like all the calls that you're making on yourself, you're realizing not only can you handle them, but it's easier than you thought. So that is quite a nice thing to hear. And the Moon card. Yeah, you're changing your future. You are definitely doing something totally different. You're taking care of your health, and your health is your wealth. But you've picked a new path for yourself. Some of you have decided that you're going to take much more better care of your health. Change your routines, not indulge so much, watch what you eat, do a little more exercise, that sort of thing. Others of you are deciding to go a different path. And if you have to go it alone, you're willing to do that because you can see much farther into the future by doing something totally just for you. Not about everybody else in your life. This time, this path, this new adventure that you're starting is your path and yours alone. Not that you're going alone, but you're choosing all the way of what this next path is going to look like. The Eight of Swords. So yeah, you've been thinking about this for so long. You've held yourself back, self-doubt. You've been beating yourself up for a while about trying to figure out what your next endeavor is going to be, which way you're going forward, what path you're going to take, all those sort of things. And you've been very hard on yourself, like very negative. And you're realizing that, all that's going to do is just cause you chaos, and you want more of the balance. So you're trying to figure out how to begin that path. Step out of the negative thoughts about yourself. You're not thinking about anybody else but your own self. You want to not repeat things in your life. You want to see things much more clearer. And you're realizing that for many of it, you can just move in a different direction. So you're owning that. You're realizing that, all this self-doubt and worry and negativity towards yourself, you can release that now. None of it's true. Maybe that was self-imposed. Maybe you were, picked on when you went to school. Whatever this brought this shell around you of doubting your own life. And now you're realizing that that was never needed to be. So you're, just letting it go, literally, and coming more in a line with your future, your dreams, going forward. So that's why you're choosing that path. You want to definitely have a much peacefuler path in every dimension of your life. Oh, look at that. Look how much stress, worrying, overthinking, analyzing. You've been holding yourself back for a long time with fears, insomnia, not sleeping correctly. Your health has been, definitely taken a beating for it. And you're realizing that you need to let that all go. And it's not easy. I mean, it sounds easy, but it's nothing like that is ever easy. But you have now figured out how to do it. And in some cases, what has caused that? Or who has caused that? And you're letting that go as well. Because you are changing now a different perspective for your life, your path. Everything about you is about to do a whole 360-degree turn. And the Queen of Swords, yeah, once you make this decision, there is nothing and nobody's going to change your mind. And God help them if you do. Or if they try to, I guess I should say. Because you're being very judgmental about your own choices. You're depending on yourself. You're putting up clear boundaries. You're protecting yourself. And you're thinking really clear on your future. What it is you want and you're going to have. That's your decision you're making. And you're communicating that very strongly to others. Because you have a dream and a future that you've been thinking about for a long time, and now you're acting on it. Ooh, look at that for a power couple. And the King of Swords. So definitely owning your decisions, feeling strong, empowered, and you're thinking so clearly, like, wow, you've never thought this clearly this far. You know, you're thinking with your head over your heart. Doesn't matter what you're feeling, you're almost denying that of yourself. You're not putting feelings into this. This is pure decisions. You're selling, you know, and telling yourself the honest truth. Sometimes we don't like to hear that, but that's what you're doing this week. You are really not dreaming anymore. You're figuring out how to step into this reality. And the Four of Swords, you get to pamper yourself for a change. You know, many of you are hard-working individuals. Whether you're working at home, that's work. You know, it doesn't always have to be a paying job. You're a hard-working person. You will try to get things done, whether it's on your own or assistance. And it has been doing this for a long time. And it's definitely, you know, grinded at you. And now you're allowing yourself this week, finally, to say, you know what? Maybe a whole bunch of people that you know has gone for, you know, pedicures, manicures, haircuts, whatever. And you've always thought about them, but you never, you know, allowed yourself that. Well, this is the week you're literally okay with pampering yourself. You know, if that's what it takes, you're actually allowing yourself to do it. Because you just need that extra little pickup for yourself. And the Five of Cups, yeah. Looking back at your past a little bit, regrets, analyzing it, owning it, and then letting it go. Realizing that, you know, you can't correct it, fix it, or undo it. A failure is a failure to teach you something. But there's been disappointments, losses, same as everybody else in the world. And you're finally coming to that realization that you're not out there alone, which helps you to release it. And that's what you're doing this week. You're releasing some things from your past. You know, you're looking at them first. You really are. And then you're finally allowing yourself to say, okay, that's enough of that. You know, I'm okay. I can get past this. And you're moving past this now. You're picking up the cups that are there on offer and realizing that it's time to move in a new direction for your future. No more backsliding, no more second guessing, you know, no more over analyzing. You're accomplished. That part of your life is finished. It's for time for this new beginning to start. And that's what you're doing this week. You come to that realization that past is the past. You've dealt with it and you're moving forward. So that's a wonderful card to see for you. A new relationship or emotional experience in visions or social events. A compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. Yeah, see, you poor thing, all up in your head. And on that note, I will say goodbye for now and definitely talk to you again next week. And bye for now.